Oh, that's nice. Can you do that again? Can you come closer so I conserve a little bit of my voice for tomorrow? I have to reach 90 names tomorrow. Okay, so I would like to welcome you all. This is our 50th anniversary for the first graduating class of chemical engineering. So we're very, very proud to have you all around, and we would like to dedicate this 50th anniversary to three people that I think deserve our attention in terms of how they shape the whole future of the department. From the beginning, from the conception of the department since today, and maybe beyond. I would like to then dedicate this to these three people that I'm going to talk to about today. The department, just before I start with talking about the three chairs of the department that would like to dedicate the ceremony today. The department started in 1970, right? 1960, let me guess. 1962, right? 1962, and the first department chair was Professor Stedt. So he believed, he came with a chemical engineering degree, and he believed that basically, you know, a state university like Rutgers would like to have a chemical engineering department, and that's how everything started. So that's how Professor Stedt envisioned, but then a number of people came on board and crystallized the idea of chemical engineering at Rutgers. The first one that I would like to honor today is Professor Vith. So just a few words about Professor Vith. It's bad that we don't have you with us today, but we would like to just say a few words about you. So Professor Vith came from MIT 1968. Incidentally, that's the year that I was born. So maybe there is something into it, you know, so somebody will tell us about the future. So he came to Rutgers in 1968 and he became a chair of the department. He actually, before that, he visited just a casual visit. He saw the new formed department, but then when the time came, Dean Easton at this time invited him to come and interview for the chair position, and then he joined the department. And he served the department as a department chair for 2 terms, from 1968 to 1978. Those were very critical years for the department, because in 1970 the department changed its name to Chemical and Biochemical Engineering. And I believe it was the first department in the country, and maybe the world, that changed the chemical and biochemical engineering. And we all know that now, throughout the country, all the departments of chemical engineering embrace the biological science, and they changed their names in the chemical and bio something engineering departments. So it was a very critical period that Vith led the department. He had a passion about both chemical engineering and biological sciences and engineering, and actually he taught a number of different courses in applied chemistry. So like surface chemistry, semi-permeable membranes, and also biochemical engineering research. So I would like to take this opportunity and have acknowledge the contribution of Professor Vith as the chair of the department from 1968 to 1978. We have a little plaque for you, the correct one. Sorry. So, the plaque for you, maybe I should do like this.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
I love this technology, right? Yeah. So the next person that I would like to talk about that actually was also instrumental about the history of the department is Professor Bert Davidson. And we are very glad that we have Professor Bert Davidson with us today. So Professor Bert Davidson joined the department in 1964. And actually we're celebrating the 50th year from the first graduating class. So this is for you. He became, of course, assistant professor, and it took me only 3 years, I realized, to get tenure and full professor and associate professor. And then 5 years, yeah, and then 5 years to become a full professor, and 10 more years to become a distinguished professor, the title that we have now for professor too. And then he served the department as a department chair for 18 years. Okay, I have to pause here. I am a chair of the department for 1 year, not even. I cannot even imagine what it is to be like 18 years the chair of the department.
You lose your hair.
Okay, if that's what it takes. Not for that. Professor Davidson led the department through a number of different changes, and he was instrumental of bringing a number of faculty on board. Between them is Professor Peterson. Henrik is around somewhere.
Here, Mary.
Yeah, Henrik, Professor Kosson, Professor Yichu, Professor Helen Butler. Helen is here too. Professor Fernando Muzio is also around. And Professor Martin Yarmos, that is also at Rutgers right now. So all of these are like the highly successful faculty members, and these are all hires of Professor Davidson. So I would like to take this opportunity and acknowledge all the hard work and that you have done for the department. Again, I have to find the correct one. Okay, so this one is for you. Thank you very much, Bert.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay there.
No check, no money?
No, nothing. Nothing. Zero.
Bert, things has not changed that much. So I don't know, do you like to say a few words, or yeah?
Well, just a few words. You made it sound very easy. We went from Dr. Stedt to Dr. V to me, and then to Henrik, and then to Malkus. There was a lot going on in the back rooms. But it all worked out. It takes a village, really, to educate a student. And I'd like to acknowledge the staff that we had, Debbie, and is Lynn here?
No, she's not.
Nick Bosco, our technician for many, many years. And is Kurt here? Kurt, our computer.
Yes, it was, yeah.
And of course, outstanding faculty, but really, the most important are the students. And, it's all one big happy family, and I like to, as I'm looking around, it's really an extended happy family. And I wish everybody good luck.
Thank you. Professor Alkis Konstantinidis, that joined the department in 1969. He came to Rutgers from Columbia. His advisor was Elmer Gadden, and he was, he perceived to be one of the fathers of biochemical engineering. So obviously, Alkis came to Rutgers and he liked to work in biochemical engineering stuff. And that's also why he was instrumental on the renaming of the department in chemical and biochemical engineering department. For the next 25 years, Alkis was working in a number of different ideas in bioengineering field, modeling of fermentation, enzyme, reactors, and all of those nice things. And as you all know, some of you know, the recent graduates, he authored 3 textbooks that some of you actually know and have been taught from. Especially you might know the applied numerical methods in chemical engineering, all the MATLAB codes that Alkis have put together for this book. But also he was teaching the design course for a number of years. And he's famous about the very nice design project that he brought from his experience at ExxonMobil. That it was not ExxonMobil back then, it was just Exxon, Research and Engineering, that he worked there from 1964 to 1966, right? So before joining Rutgers. So I think, looking back at all the Alkis contributions at the department, it's amazing to see that he served at every position in the department. The graduate director, undergraduate director, and also a chair of the department from 1996 since 2002. And I am happy to report that one of the hires that Alkis has made is me. Back in 1998. So it is a kind of sad but also nice to see Alkis receiving numerous awards over the years, especially for teaching. And this year also received the teaching award. So although he taught just one semester, not both semesters, he also taught the award. So I think even next year that he retired, he's still going to receive the teaching award. So I think he's going to receive this for forever. So I would like to invite Alkis to say a few words, but also to congratulate and thank him from the top of my heart about everything that he has done for the department over the years.
Well, it's been a wonderful 45 years here. A lot of things have happened at Rutgers. When I came here, Rutgers had 25,000 students. Now it has 60,000 or more. So it has grown quite a lot. Our experience with chemical engineering has been great. Vith and I were the original biochemical engineers in this department, and we changed the name of the department to Chemical and Biochemical Engineering, and as Marianthi mentioned earlier, we were the first in the world to change that, the name and the emphasis in the department. Through the years, it's been fun teaching and doing research, but I enjoyed teaching, and I'll tell you an anecdote. For a few years, Bert Davidson and I taught together a course in numerical method, in applied mathematics. Bert would teach the analytical part of math, and I'll teach the digital part of math, the numerical methods. And we had this competition between the two of us, which was fun. Bert was an expert on analog computers, and I was an expert on digital computers. And we would say to each other, anything you can do with your analog computer, I can do better with my digital. And we would take problems such as predator-prey problem and solve the differential equations, so first on the analog computer and then on the digital computer, and plot the results and show them to the students. And I think the students benefited a lot from that. And of course, eventually, you know which system, analog or digital, won out. Sorry, Bert.
There's a story you're leaving out. Alka's programmed the predator-prey equations on your Apple 8E or 8?
Apple.
Yeah. And I programmed them on my analog computer for a stable situation, but one that's close to the boundary of unstable. Well, my analog computer in an instant gave the answer. It was convergent. However, it was lunchtime, and the digital was going too slow. Remember? But you were convinced because you looked at the stability limit that it would converge. I said, well, let's have lunch. We went out for an hour and had lunch, and we came back, and lo and behold, it converged. An hour later. Remember?
I remember that. The digital back then was slower than the analog. You notice I said back then. It's great. Cheers.
Next week, Dr. Beef.
Wolf, you're on camera now.
Okay.
Raise your camera a little bit so we can see your face. That's better.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see you.
Put a little smile now.
Okay, well, that was a wonderful occasion. I really was very glad to see all the folks and to hear the stories and to remember participating with them. Rutgers is a great place, and it came a long way in 50 years.
That's good.
Thank you. Next time, come and visit.
I certainly will do that, and if I didn't have a bad knee right now, I would do that.
You're lucky you only have a bad knee.
That's all.
Okay, thank you all very much for coming.
Wolf, look us up when you come back.
And I hope to see you again next year.
Bye, Peggy.
Enjoy
That's good.
a glass of wine. See you all there today.
I tried adjusting it up a little bit and moving
That's
it
good.
because it's little bumpy areas.
Wish you a long retirement. Thank you.
Do you want anything else to drink?
Yes, please. I'd like something to drink.
So many people, but I actually